But one thing has stayed consistent. Celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
And good morning, it is time for the First Federal program here on this May the 9th as Tanner joins us. Good morning, Tanner.
Good morning, Randy. How we doing?
Hey, beautiful sunshine out there. A little cool, but hey, it's better than rain, right?
As long as it's going to be cool, at least give me some sunshine.
There you go. Yeah, get the sunshine and be a pretty nice day. Mother's Day weekend, so it's going to be pretty good for that too as well.
Yeah, it looks like the weather's turning,
Yeah.
so, and hopefully the last bit of cold, I guess I'll say cold, is behind us.
I don't think it got as cold as they said it was going
Right.
to. So that's
Even yesterday, I know, like, my phone was saying 63, but it felt a lot nicer than that outside.
Well, they said it was supposed to get down to like 35 overnight, and we're at 41 right now.
This morning
so
it was about 35 when I left home.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When I
Been
drove
where you're
down,
at.
so, yeah.
Hey, but it's summertime is on the
We're
way.
getting there. I see on Facebook some people, Facebook friends I have that own pools. The pools are starting to get open. So.
Well, you know when the countdown's on for school to get out, summer's right around the corner.
Memorial Day, yep. So it's a fun
racing
time.
in Indy, so that's always a good sign.
Yeah, when's Carb Day and qualifying and all that? Should be coming up.
Grand Prix this weekend,
Prix,
so qualifying's next weekend, and so it's.
And here you'll have all that right here.
We'll have it all right here. We'll start giving away qualifying tickets today during the trading post. So, it's a crazy time of the month.
Yeah, it is a lot going on, but it's fun.
Yes.
It's fun. So, well, I brought some trivia with me this morning, sports related.
There we go. That's a little better.
In your wheelhouse a little bit. NBA playoffs are going on, and they have been very exciting. And I'm not the biggest NBA fan by any means, but these playoffs have been really entertaining. So I thought I'd bring an NBA-related trivia question with me this morning. The Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers have won the most NBA championships. What franchise has won the third most?
Ooh, third most.
Chicago Bulls, San Antonio Spurs, Golden State Warriors, or the Detroit Pistons?
One popped in my head right away when you said it. So
all right.
We'll see. I have to see if I go with it or what I do.
Yeah, I'll give you a little show.
Yeah.
About how that.
Some good teams there.
Yeah, they've all won a good amount. That's
right.
I'll tell you that much. So, and I was looking the other day. There's only a handful of NBA teams who have never made the finals, and then after that, I think there's 4 or 5, and after that, there's only a few more that have never won it. So, out of the 30 teams, the majority of them have at least won one. Pacers being one of those teams that have reached the finals back in 2000 when they lost to the Lakers. To have not won the finals, but maybe this is the year.
Yeah, Pacers are on a roll.
They still got to get through the series.
They do. They do.
That 2-0 lead going into Game 3, which is tonight in Indianapolis. That's at 7:30 on ESPN.
It's pivotal.
Yeah, I do too. They're still underdogs coming in tonight.
They won on the road. Can they do it on home now?
I can't believe they got Game 2.
No,
I mean,
that was crazy.
20
finish.
points, down 7 points with 46 seconds left.
We got home in time. We turned to about halfway through the fourth quarter on, and I was like, I'm not an NBA fan either.
But that was.
So I was glued to the TV for that one.
They just itch and claw. They're gritty. They're fun to watch. This team and Tyrese Halliburton, their superstar. I'm going to put him in that category after what he's been doing lately. He's definitely not overrated as a lot of the opposing fan bases are trying to say he is.
Well, they said there was an NBA poll, and throughout the whole poll, he got the #1 vote for underrated.
Well, I think he's proven them wrong the last 2 weeks.
I think somebody fired him up with that. I think
that happens a lot with athletes when polls like that come out. But he's a perfect fit for not only the Pacers but the city of Indianapolis.
Right. Yep.
And so on top of the Indy 5 being the month of the Indy 500, Pacers being in the playoff, had some excitement around the state.
And then with Fever getting started as well. So
Clark. So
there's a lot of hype in Indy.
Yes, there is. So, but like I said, Game 3 tonight, 7:30 on ESPN. Game 3 between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets at 10 o'clock on ESPN. The Nuggets won Game 1 on no, that was not a buzzer beater. That was against the Clippers that they made it. But they won Game 1. Gave 149 points in Game 2.
Yeah, that was dominating.
Yeah, Thunder are pretty good, but so that's pivotal, I think, for the Nuggets tonight too. If they want a chance to win the series. And then tomorrow you got the Celtics and Knicks. The Knicks have a surprising 2-0 lead, kind of like the Pacers.
Yeah.
They've come from behind both games.
Crazy times.
3:30 on ABC tomorrow, and then Timberwolves and Warriors 8:30 tomorrow on ABC. Timberwolves tied the series up 1 game apiece last night. Steph Curry's injured. That hurts the Warriors big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, they're going to need to get him back as quick as possible.
And hamstring.
You never know.
That can linger. So, yeah.
Yeah, they may think he's back, and then
He's
halfway
not,
through the
yeah,
game,
he might
something
not be
happens.
himself
Yeah,
either, 100%. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm usually not the biggest NBA fan, but the playoffs have my attention this year. It's been pretty fun to watch.
It has been.
Baseball wise, I mean, like you said, we're May 9th now. We're still early for baseball, but you're kind of starting to figure out what teams are probably going to stick around in contention and what teams are not. Got to throw the Yankees record out as a Yankee fan. They're 21-16, but they are leading the AL East with that record. Starting to hit finally. Bats were slow to wake up this year. Detroit Tigers might be playing about the best baseball out of anybody. They're 25-13.
Crazy.
The Cleveland's right behind them at 22-15. I know that will make one of your coworkers pretty happy.
Yes, it will.
Chicago White Sox 10-28, but hey, you're not the worst record in baseball. That's the Colorado Rockies at 6-31. They are historically bad right now.
Yeah, they're going to compete with the Sox
gosh.
usually for that.
Just awful. Cubs off the good start, 22-16.
And we'll see how May ends up.
May's been pivotal for them the last 2 years. It's cost them the playoffs the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
Yeah.
May has. And their schedule's fairly gettable, I want to say,
Yeah.
in May. So they got to take care of business. Cardinals at a record 19-19, and the Reds at 19-20. So long ways to go.
Yeah.
But
A lot of baseball.
a lot of local teams off to a pretty good start. So. And speaking of local, I got some local sports to hit on. Rochester softball's off to a great start in conference. Undefeated so far in conference play.
Won another one last night.
Yep.
Play again today.
Yep.
Baseball took a little bump, but they bounced back. They lost to Wabash on Thursday from a makeup from rain out on Monday. But then they're back in action. Then they got a big win, or Wednesday. They got a big win then against McConnell
Last night.
Wednesday night.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, they played Tuesday.
And then
And then Wednesday. Off last night, play tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's that time of year. You
it
get a lot
is.
of
It
games.
is. Well, and you got to get those conference wins
You
in.
have
So
to.
whenever you got an open
Yep.
day,
And the sectional draws are already out.
they're already out.
Yeah.
So for
Just
both baseball and
Yeah,
softball,
it's wild to me, but it's May 9th.
it is.
I mean,
You know, when you talk Memorial Day, then you start talking tournament time.
yeah.
So,
Yep. Yep. Postseason's got to be here before we know it, before a lot of spring sports. So. And then congratulations to Luke Smith.
Oh, yes.
Righteous graduate of, I want to say 06. Sorry, Luke, if I got that wrong. I think it's 06. Named Rochester High School new boys basketball
yes,
coach.
very excited.
Yeah.
Working on getting an interview with him to talk about his future plans. But yeah, been on staff for the last 8 years,
Yep.
so
Was a
it's
heck
not
of
a
a player.
new.
Was a heck of a player back in his day. Not only at Rochester, but at Huntington University as well.
1,000-point scorer in college.
I remember growing up, he was the first Zebra I could remember starting varsity as a freshman.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
all 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good player himself, and and I think, of course, the players really like him.
Yeah. That's
So-
well. Takes a lot of the heat off of Coach Malcolm. What he
Sure.
did helped him
Sure.
out. You know, kind of ran the offense. So
Yep.
looking forward to seeing if the staff, the rest of the staff stays in
Yeah.
place or
Yeah.
what happens there. So
Yeah.
we'll talk to Luke hopefully here before long.
Yeah, so congratulations again to Luke and the rest of his family. That was very exciting. Got some tidbits here this morning. On this day, 1992, the final episode of Golden Girls aired on NBC, and they're still playing reruns of that show.
They are.
I know, at least on TV Land, probably a few other networks
Yes,
too.
great show.
Yep, one of those all-time classics. On this day, 2010, the Oakland A's, then known as the Oakland A's, Dallas Braden became the 19th pitcher to throw a perfect game.
Oh wow.
You know, and that's still, I don't know how many there's been since 2010, but that's still such a great accomplishment when somebody does that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to throw a no-hitter, which is still pretty impressive itself, and then throw a perfect game
Yeah.
on top of that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, pretty impressive. On this day in 2022, an Andy Warhol portrait of Marilyn Monroe sold for $195 million at auction in New York. It's the highest price ever for an American artwork.
Jeez, just crazy.
Cool, $195
Just
million.
just cash and laying around.
And on this day in 2023, I thought this was pretty fitting with Evan's trivia question from last week. On this day in 2023, George Harrison's "Here Comes the Sun" became the first Beatles song to register a billion streams on Spotify. Is also the oldest song to do so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fits right in there.
Yes. And we got a couple of days today. Today is National Public Gardens Day, National Military Spouse Appreciation Day, National Moscato Day, Child Care Provider Day, National Sleepover Day, National Butterscotch Brownie Day. Sign me up for that.
Yeah. If anybody's making those,
That sounds really
drop
good.
by the bank or the radio station.
I'm a big brownie
Yeah,
fan,
yeah.
as it is, but put butterscotch in it. Alphabet Magnet Day. Do you ever have those on the fridge?
I don't remember if I had, but I know cousins and
That
nephews
have,
and
yeah.
that have
I'm
now.
the same
you
way.
know,
I
yeah.
don't remember ever having them, but I
Yeah.
have friends and stuff growing up that
Yep.
their family's fridge had them on. And it's Europe Day today.
There you go.
So, well, money news. The Dow going well again.
Yeah.
It's about 3 or 4 straight weeks. I don't want to jinx anything, but it closed up a little over 254 points at 254.48 points yesterday at overall 41,368.45. So things are ticking in the right direction.
Starting to trend that way.
So,
aren't
like I said, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to jinx anything. But like Mr. Dick Belcher always said, it's either going to go up or it's going to go down.
Right.
We don't really have much say in it. So,
It's all depending on what the market does,
Yep.
and what the Feds do.
yep. So it's kind of out of our control. But at the bank today, we're open here in Rochester in our Weyant from 8:30 till 5, and tomorrow from 8:30 till noon. We'd love to see you. And if you can't make it in, you can always bank with us online and with our mobile app, which is free to download. No matter if you have an Android or an iPhone, go to the Google Play Store or your App Store. You can search for it in multiple ways. First Federal Savings Bank, FFSB. I think the actual name is FFSB Rochester. I think is the actual name of the app. But you can search for it in a few different ways and find it. Look for the white star, green background. You're halfway there. And our ATM's open 24/7 as well if you need some cash. And if you're traveling, we are part of the MoneyPass network. So you can go to moneypass.com, search for the MoneyPass ATMs in that area you're in by zip code, and you can use any of those ATMs and you won't get charged surcharge.
It's kind of neat too because you can also make deposits, get cash at
Yes.
ATMs, and on the mobile.
And
app.
on the mobile app too. Yes, thanks for that
Yeah.
reminder, Randy. So if for whatever reason you can't get to the bank through the lobby or through the drive-through, you can do it those 2 ways as well. We offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. Right now, when you open up a new checking account, you'll receive a free gift. Which our gift right now is the Sunrise Alarm Clock.
Had that last
Had
week.
that last week to show off on Facebook Live. And
I hear it's pretty bright.
yeah, it's pretty bright. I think there's 7 different colors you can choose from. So if you need that extra motivation or extra help to get up in the morning, that might be a perfect gift for you. If you're thinking, man, I really want one of those, but I don't want to open up another account, well, good news. There's other ways you can do that and get that. You can refer a friend, and you can do that in person or online. And when your friend comes in to open up a new account, not only will they get a gift for opening the account, but you will as well, just for referring them.
That easy.
Yeah, pretty easy. So, if you're looking to buy a home, contact Ben Dalton or Stacy Wilson at our Rochester branch. Ben's also at our Winnemac branch, or Ryan Austin at our Winnemac branch to get pre-approved today and see how we can help you and your family with your mortgage lending needs. So, and they'd be happy to help you out. Getting pre-approved, it's free, and it's definitely the way to go. It's
Yeah.
good to go. You sit down with them, pretty easy process. You figure out what you can afford, and you go from there. So cuts down on a lot of the hassle later down the line.
I know if you're looking for home equity as well.
Home equity,
We're
yep.
working
Yep.
with Ben right now on
Yeah,
that. So
absolutely.
easy process.
If you market even to refinance,
Yeah.
we can do that as well.
Yep.
So whatever you need on the mortgage lending side, we can take care of it. And we offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Zach Reuter at 574-223-1731 for more information. And if you're thinking about retiring, want to get a plan set for that, check on your 401k, maybe you roll a 401k over, get an IRA going, those types of things. Contact Mark Blueball or Brian Belruff, Financial Services Department. They'd be happy to help you. Their direct line's 574-223-1705. And to keep up the latest going on at First Federal Savings Bank, you can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram at FF Banking is our handle on those two social media platforms. Like us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can find an archive of First Federal radio shows dating back to 2018.
Long time ago.
Yeah, a long time going on now. You know, Randy, and everybody that listens to this on a regular basis knows that we go Facebook Live every week.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook put a thing in where your live videos now are only going to last a month.
Oh, wow.
So I'm glad we have this archive in
no
other
kidding.
places that you can get, especially on YouTube, that you can go see. So.
Perfect. Glad
Yeah.
you started that.
Yeah, me too. So, and I was having a conversation with somebody the other day. They're like, why would Facebook do this? Well, it's a spacing thing, but still, they're such a big company.
Right. You wouldn't think space would be a problem.
But they do, I will say, at least give you email notifications and alerts that, hey, this video is coming up on close to expiration if you want to keep it downloaded.
Okay.
So at least they do that. But
check out the YouTube page.
yes, check out our YouTube channel. And we are the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines of your FDIC insured and equal housing lender. And our NMLS number is 399927.
That's simple. Now we're ready for the fun
Now
part.
we're ready for the fun part, and we have two ladies this morning that are representing Rochester Summer Parks Program. We have Abigail Cronan with us and Ashlynn Weyant this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
So the Summer Parks Program is a program that I know when I was growing up was really popular. I had friends go through it, friends help, and then it kind of had a period where it wasn't around. But to my understanding, this is the second year since the relaunch of it.
Yes, so a lot of the community enjoyed the Perks program for decades, and Lindsay, our director, was a part of it both as a camper and a camp leader for years, and she brought me on last year as well.
So what made you want to get involved with helping with the Summer Parks Program? Do you have a background in helping with these sort of events, or is it just a passion of yours?
I have kids, and we moved into Rochester during the COVID and missed the Parks program, so I hadn't heard about it yet. But when she approached me and said she was bringing it back, it was a great activity to involve my children in, to get involved in the community. There was a lot we hadn't seen in the community, and it was a great experience for them to get involved with the parks and peers around them.
Yeah, absolutely. And for somebody that might be listening or watching on Facebook and is not familiar with the Summer Parks Program, what exactly is the Summer Parks Program?
So this is a chance it's a play-based experience for kids to get involved with their community. It's peer guided, so we hire leaders from the high school to guide kids through activities in sports and art. We'll do nature mindful walks and the literacy program in the library.
And how do you come up with that criteria for the events?
Lindsay Bartz, our director, she has a lot of knowledge and experience in kids' backgrounds and studies on their mental health, and this gets kids outdoors, away from technology. She's very invested in Fulton County's children's mental health.
It's a good experience too, because like you said, it gets them away from the technology, gets them outside, and teaches them what is around Fulton County to do. Without that, they may not know either.
Yeah, a lot of hidden gems, I like to say, around Fulton County, and especially just within the parks itself. We have a pretty nice parks program and park system. So, does the parks program, do they have a board, or are volunteers needed, or how does the group come together that helps make this come to fruition?
We do have a board that approved and encouraged the extended weeks, the extended employments, and the extended kids registration. We had opened that to a lot more kids this year, so we are excited, and thank you to the board for all of that. But within that, we do need volunteers, or always use volunteers, donations, and you can also register your kids at the same website. And that is www.rochesterparksandrecreation.com, Summer Parks Program.
So that's where they can go to get more information about volunteering, make donations, register, do all that. Is there a deadline for somebody to get their kids signed up for this year's Parks program?
No, so the Parks program this year runs 5 weeks. That's June 9th through July 18th. We're taking the week of the 4th of July off. You can register your kids now anywhere through the end of the Parks program. So you can register them for each week, 1 week at a time, or all 5 weeks. And that's $35 a kid with sibling discounts, and we do have scholarships available.
That's great. That's great. And you said you opened it up for more kids this year. If you can remember correctly, approximately how many kids did you have go through last year through the program?
Consistently about 80, I think was the number last year. And
That's a
this
big
year,
number.
we're opening it up to 130 to 100.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Of course, you can't do it without some of the student help as well.
Yes, yes. And I was speaking with Abigail Cronan and Ashlynn Weyant this morning, the Rochester Summer Parks program. And Ashlynn, what made you want to get involved with the Parks program this year?
Well, I'd never done it before, and then I saw like advertising for it, and I was like, it seems like something interesting to do over the summer. So I applied for it and I got it, and I'm really happy that I ended up doing it because it was in my close friends.
So Ashlynn did join us last year and is coming back this year.
Okay. So you must have had a good experience last year and had some fun with it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
What was a few of your favorite features that's helping last year?
I like really collaborating with the kids and doing activities with them because you get to see the creative side and you get to see them like work well with other people because like they probably don't want to do that like a lot and this at school. And so I think it's good because there's also kids that are like homeschooled there and stuff like that, so they really get like interactive and love it.
And one thing, Abigail, I meant to ask, how many staff do you have helping this year?
I think we hired 16 to 18 staff members,
Wow.
and then Lindsay and I.
Okay, so and the staff members are all students?
Correct.
Wow. Okay, that's great.
As you look ahead, maybe some of the things coming up, what are you looking to do this year? Some of the fun activities.
The Parks program is having a chicken and car wash fundraiser in June.
Okay.
We're having a Parkable at the end of the Parks program, and that is open to the community, whether you've been attending the Parks program or not. You can come join at the park, see some of the activities, see some of the artwork, and even join in a lot of that as well.
So is that like a carnival type thing inside the park?
Inside the park,
Okay.
yes, and I believe we'll have a car wash again this year, although the chicken probably won't be there. We'll have cotton candy, face painting, and the leaders will be doing activities with the kids, kind of walking through the community, what we've been involved in the Parks program.
In which park is that at? I guess I should.
The city park here in Rochester.
Okay.
Obviously, every day's different for the kids, but walk us through a normal day for the kids.
So this will be rain or shine, and we are offering for kids 6 to 12, and one group will be a collaboration of all ages, which is not something a lot of the kids are used to. They go to school with kids of their similar age. So we will start either at the high school or the city park. If you want your kids to eat breakfast, you can drop them off there at the high school, or go ahead and drop them off at the city park. We'll have leaders at both. We'll register them in by their color. When you register, you'll get assigned to those emails. And then they'll get some free time at the play. They'll run through stations. Stations include art, maybe some kickball, dodgeball, some other sport activities. And then we have the literacy reading program. We have 1 day a week. Every week we'll be walking down to the parks program or to the library for the reading program. We're getting kids involved with that, and we're asking volunteers to read to students. And then there'll be days we're going bowling. With each group we'll have rotations. We'll have the pool. We'll be going to the local gardens at Woodlawn, getting kids involved in planting. Last year we did a community art project and painted all the trash cans, so if you guys are around and see those, This year there'll be an art mural. We're collaborating with local businesses on that. And then, like I said, rain or shine, we do have a rain
Okay.
backup where we'll be meeting at the high school and running through very similar activities. They'll still have that similar routine, just in the comfort of our high school.
Just out of the rain.
And a lot going on, a lot of activities.
Yeah,
and
that's.
I'm disappointed we're too old
Yeah, no kidding.
to attend.
Well, you're not, but you could help. See,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
I mean, there
that's
you
true.
go.
That's
Yes.
true. That's true. Anything else either one of you would like to plug or mention this morning about the Summer Parks program?
I think it's a really good opportunity for kids because I feel like it just gets them out and they have so much fun. And I feel like a lot of the kids have a really good experience. I know I personally had a good experience because I got to like meet people and got really close with my peers around me.
Yeah, it sounds like a great
Yeah.
time for not only the students that attend, but the kids that attend, but students that help and staff and everybody. I mean, it sounds like 5 weeks of fun to me.
Give us that address, website address one more time so they can get registered.
So that's www.rochesterparksandrecreation.com/summer/park/program.
Perfect.
And the Summer Parks program, one more time, is going to last from June 9th through July 18th. So,
With July 4th week off.
with July 4th week off. Yes. So get signed up today, still got time.
Yeah.
And Abigail and Ashlynn, thank you both for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, Randy, trivia time again.
I know. I've got two in my head. I just we'll go with my gut here.
All right. The Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers have won the most NBA championships. What team has won the third most? Chicago Bulls, San Antonio Spurs, Golden State Warriors, or Detroit Pistons?
See, I remember back in the days when I was watching more NBA and the old Bulls. So I'm going to go with my gut and the Bulls.
They're fourth.
Really?
Six.
Okay.
They're the only team I could find that have won multiple championships that haven't lost them.
Okay.
6-0,
Yeah.
all in the 90s. But it's the Golden State Warriors with 7.
That was my mixed guess.
And a lot of them have happened recently.
Okay.
They go back into the San Francisco Warrior days with Will Chamberlain.
Right.
They won quite a few
Okay.
too. So
That was my second
Yeah.
guess. I was between the Bulls and the Warriors, but
and the Spurs have 5, Pistons 3.
Okay.
But the Celtics have 18 and the Lakers 17.
Wow.
But the Celtics are 18-5 in the finals. They've won 18 and 23. And the Lakers are like 17 and out of 32 appearances.
Oh my.
So their appearances have blown everybody out
Yeah.
of the
Right.
water.
Right. The appearances.
But,
Crazy.
But yeah.
All right.
So-
Well, I was in the ball.
You were, and I would have guessed Bulls too myself until I researched it.
Yeah. And that was probably obviously the reasoning when I said Jordan era there.
Oh, sure.
You're watching it. I wasn't thinking, didn't really know much about the NBA before that.
Yeah, they won 6 in the
Yeah.
decade of the 90s,
Yeah.
and the reason they didn't win more, Jordan took 2 years off to retire
Yeah.
and go play baseball.
Right.
So, and then he was retired for the last one in the 90s too, when
Right.
the Spurs beat the Knicks in the strike year. So, we'll close with some words of wisdom from John Galsworthy, an English author. If you do not think about your future, you cannot have one.
Very good. Very good. Tanner, see you again next
We'll
week.
be here. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
With those words of wisdom, this has been the First Federal Program.